What up?
Ladies, what do you like to do? Sit back and relax and watch Girl Talk too. Conversations with ladies. What you like to do? Sit back and relax and watch Girl Talk too. Conversations with Shy going through the roof. Each and every Sunday, tell a friend and tell a friend. Tune in at 8 p.m. Empower women. Doing better is a model Instagram we follow. Cause girls run the world, we let our minds lead the way. The future is bright, we should have Girl Talk every night. Girls run the world, we let our mind lead the way. The future is bright, we should have Girl Talk every night. Girls run the world, we let our mind lead the way. The future is bright, we should have Girl Talk every night. Girl Talk. Ladies, conversations with Shy going through the roof. Each and every Sunday, tell a friend and tell a friend. Tune in at 8 p.m. Empower women. Doing better is a model Instagram we follow. Cause girls run the world, we let our minds lead the way. The future is bright, we should have Girl Talk every night. Girls run the world, we let our minds lead the way. The future is bright, we should have Girl Talk every night. Girls run the world, we let our minds lead the way. The future is bright,
Girls run the world, we let our... Hey, okay. What up, what up, what up, what up? How we feeling? It's Sunday. Sundays are for Girl Talk. You already know what it is. What's up, what's up, what's up? We got my soror, actually, Portia, coming on today, Mindsovermatter. We're going to talk to her. We're going to find out what that's all about. Nothing like supporting another female, somebody that I've been knew from college. It's nice to see everybody coming up and doing their thing. Shout out to all of y'all for coming on today, for being here, for being on time. I know y'all probably be looking like it's 8 o'clock. Girl Talk on the radio starts at 8:03. So I'll be trying to do it like at the same time because I'll be having the video playing, then the music's in my ear, so you already know. How y'all Sunday going? What's up? What's up? What's up? How we doing? How's my weight loss challenge going? My bees. I got some people in there from my bees challenge. I haven't seen y'all talking much, but I seen y'all eating. I just want to let y'all know that Assist's been eating less. I haven't been working out, but Assist's been eating less. I feel like my beads is going down. Shout out to Girl Beads. If you guys want some waist beads, if you want some anklets, necklaces, I got you. Sis is hustling right now. I'm doing everything. Whatever you want, I got it. What's up? What's up? How we feeling though? Talk to me. Wave, send a heart. Let me know that you. Let me know that you here. Juicy mouth. Let me know that you here though. What's up? How we doing out there? I see y'all looking at me, but y'all ain't saying nothing. Do y'all have any cups? What y'all drinking? You know what I mean? Are y'all drinking a nice glass of wine? Are y'all chilling? Did y'all go to brunch today? My necklace is from Africa, and I was like, oh, I put on this red shirt, and I was like, I don't got nothing to wear. I was like, let me put on my necklace straight from Africa. Straight back. Shout out to that trip. That was a very, very fun trip. If you guys ever get a chance, you should go to Africa. It was really nice. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna try to make y'all jealous or nothing. But it was super, super nice. And I can't wait to get more things back from there. Bring some more jewelry and stuff like that. So no, you can't go online and look for my necklace because I got it straight from Africa. Like I brought it on the plane with me, you know. So how we doing out there? Shout out to everybody on WVOX 1460 AM, the voice of the people. Shout out to everybody that's listening to me on the radio. If you can't, we on Girl Talk, GURRLTALK. Girl Talk on Instagram Live. Remember, we also put these videos on YouTube. So if you don't have an Instagram, which is fine, look at us on YouTube and stuff like that. We all over. I'm so excited. I started a podcast. I've been up. Y'all don't understand. I've been up trying to figure things out. Just trying to distract my brain from the real world and just focus on me and my world. So yeah, that's been going good. Next week when we come back, hopefully I got some more good news for y'all. So keep me on my feed. Text me, be like, Shy, did you do what you were supposed to do that you said you was going to come on Girl Talk next week? People on the radio, if you hear the jingling, that's my necklace. Is going off. But yeah, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. Remember, guys, we have these. We had that vision board party. We got visions that we need to do. If you wasn't at the vision board party, I know you still got your short-term goals, your long-term goals. Like, let's still stick to it. We're not forgetting about our goals. We're not getting comfortable. Like let's do what we got to do. Let's help each other out. Let's think about each other's mental health. Reach out to a friend. You know what I mean? Before you go venting to a friend and telling them all your business and how you sad, listen to their voice. Make sure like they up to hearing it. Because I feel like sometimes we'll just vent and say stuff, and the other person's like, I don't even feel like hearing this right now. But they being nice. So, before, even happy news, because I find myself being so happy about some things, and I'm like, girl, da 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 da. And they like, my stomach hurt. Like, oh, dang, my bad. You know what I mean? So, the positive and the negative stuff, just, check on the other person before you go going crazy. Can you pin that for me? Shout out to Selena, she's in the building. Shout out to Jay, we already here. Shout out to Gurrltalk, my girl Portia. You could come on now. Let's get this show started. But shout out to everybody on the radio, WVOX 1460 AM, the voice of the people. My word is still, guys, be nice, be gentle to each other. You can say hello in the morning. It's not that serious. And you can say hey back, because everybody ain't always trying to talk to you. Okay, we about to do this. Shout out to everybody on the radio listening. I know you can't see us. I know I sound like I'm pausing sometimes. Hey, Portia. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. It's okay. You can hear me? Talk, because we can't hear you. Can y'all hear her? Everybody on Instagram, can y'all hear her, or is it just me? They can't hear you. Okay. You want to come back, go off and come back in? Okay. Hey, Rhodey. I miss you, Rhodey. But what's up, y'all? We on Gurrltalk. Things happen. This is all live. So just go with the flow. Just bear with us. Tell me what y'all drinking on. Tell me what y'all doing. What's for dinner? Ain't nobody bring me no dinner. Y'all know I got to prepare for Gurrltalk. And I got to do all the stuff and me and Selena be hungry. Like, come on. All right, because if I get some, that's. Oh.
All right, what about now? What about now?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi, Portia.
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a long time, girl.
Oh, right? Like a minute. I see you got your LLC, Mindsovermatter. We're gonna get into that right now. I just want to promote you. I want to talk about you. I know you took a leap out on faith right now. And you're doing your thing, and it could be scary. So we Gurrltalk is here with you, and we're here to promote you and help you and just talk about the process. And in the process, you will be helping somebody else out, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't want to be at their jobs and want to fulfill their dreams and
Right.
what they want. So we always start off with Gurrltalk on how has 2020 affected your way of thinking for 2021?
Oh, that's a good question. So I never thought I would like to do virtual work, and we all were forced to do virtual work,
Right.
and I realized I love it. Like I never want to go back. So that's how it affected me a lot, and it just prepared me to leave.
Okay. So where was you working from before? Like, was you not happy, or you was just seeing things happen that you just didn't like?
So I've been there since I graduated from grad school in 2015. So I was at an outpatient mental health facility. But I've learned everything that I needed to learn. And I don't like to be in those type of spaces. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to be able to continue to grow and learn and things like that. So, but I had already planned to leave before COVID. And then COVID happened and I was like, well, let me just stay kind of thing.
Smart.
And then I was like, yeah, by my birthday, I'm out kind of thing.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
So tell us about yourself though. Before we even get into that, tell us who Portia is.
Sure. What would you like to know? Because I'm an open book, so you know
No,
me.
just tell us about yourself. Where you from, who you are, how, I don't know.
A little bit of
If you
everything.
like what you
Let's
need.
see. So my name is Portia. I always spell my name because people spell it wrong. So it's Portia.
Okay.
Um, both of my degrees are in social work. You know, went to Johnson C. Smith. I know you went to Livingstone, but you know we're better. So
Oh,
let's not even go there.
and we go. That's it.
um, I'm a social worker. I do therapy. I do supervision. I do trainings, events, a little bit of everything in Baltimore. Um,
Okay, so
yeah. Yep, I'm in Baltimore now.
in college, right? Like going back, did you see yourself here right now?
Yes.
You saw yourself. Oh, that's not. See,
hmm
I have a
I'm
plan. Like
See,
that's
I'm a planner, so I had everything set up. Like I knew I wanted to go to HBCU since the fifth grade, since
wow.
Drumline came out. Um,
Wow.
so I went to Smith. I knew I was going to grad school. I knew that, well, I didn't think I would be a therapist. So I thought I would never do therapy because I thought I didn't like therapy. But then I did it. My first job was therapy. And I was good at it. So I really liked that. I always liked group therapy. But yeah, I always knew like this is my plan. I always have a plan.
Wow. That's
I'm
nice.
mad ambitious.
Right. That's a plan out there, and that's doing it, and that's keeping on track with it. That's beautiful because I for some reason I cannot plan. Like I'm now that
Really?
I'm girl talk, I'm becoming better at it
Because you have to.
because I have to, right?
Right.
Because it's about me. You know what I mean? And I know what I want now. But I guess when you really don't know what you want, kind of hard. Like, what am I planning? You know.
Right.
I also have a social work degree. Yeah, so
Yes.
social work.
I didn't even know that. All
Yeah,
these years.
that's what my degree is in. So I always enjoyed talking to people. I always enjoyed helping people. But I feel like when I got out of college, things was a little different.
Right.
I feel like when we in college, we don't. Well, um, you don't really know what the real world is about, especially living. I went to school in North Carolina.
hmm
I live in New York. So coming back
It's
home,
mad different.
it's super different. So when you got out of college, did everything happen that you expected? Did you come back home or did you stay in North Carolina?
I went to Baltimore. I went straight to grad school right after college. So I stayed on in like student housing. It was off campus. Well, they don't really have a campus, like a campus. It's like they call it a city campus. So I stayed in the studio, but grad school was the worst experience of my life.
Really? Why?
Because we went to HBCUs. So I feel like we were taught how to be in our profession, period. And then I went to the school that I went to, and they were very racist. They were scared to be around Black people. And I didn't have friends. And I did a lot in undergrad. So I just expected grad school to be amazing. It was horrible. I didn't have friends in the city. Greek life was mad different, mad different.
Yeah,
And mad different. And we're mad like we were just mad family oriented kind of thing. I feel
uh-huh.
like when we went to school, like even when I was hanging out at your school, we were mad family oriented. Like I didn't even go to your school. Everybody thought I did.
Right,
But
right.
then I moved out here and it was like everybody just seemed real kind of like grimy like.
Really?
So mhm.
So that was the biggest shock to you. Like, what the heck? Like, this is I didn't plan for.
Right. I think it was that, and also because I was so used to being around like my best friends. Like I was cool with only having a small amount of friends, but I saw them every day. I pledged with them. I lived with them, and then it was like, oh, I'm not gonna see you for a long time because you moved to Florida, and now I'm in Baltimore, kind of thing. And I ain't know, and I'm okay with not knowing people because I didn't know people in North Carolina, so that was fine. So moving to Baltimore and not knowing people wasn't a big deal to me. But it was like I thought I was gonna have a different type of community, and I definitely did not have community at all.
But you got through it.
hmm And I'm
So,
still here. So,
advice that you could give to people who go into jobs or go into college and expect one thing, but it's totally another. Because I feel like sometimes that makes people want to give up. You know.
right.
So, do you have any advice to like people that may be going through something like that?
Well, I don't like to say I give advice because people be trying to blame me for the things you say.
Well, yeah.
But I'll
Out.
I'll give you right my thoughts. I think sometimes you do have to thug things out because you need the experience, kind of thing. And sometimes you just have to leave and know that that's okay. Like me, I'm a leap of faith type of person. So if I feel like I'm ready to go, I'm gonna go. And sometimes you need to leave things faster than you think you do. But sometimes you have to let it play it out too. You can't just start one week and be like, okay, I'm done. But before my job that I just left, I was at 3 other places for like 3 days. And I was like, no, this is not right. Because I knew that if I was going to go into a job in my field that I worked really hard for, then it need to be correct. And the agencies were not correct. I was looking at old paperwork and it was a new social worker every year. And I was like, this is not right. Like,
Right.
it's a reason why people are not here kind of thing.
Right.
So, mhm.
Oh, wow. Okay. I like that. I like that. Everybody, thank you for listening to Girl Talk right now. We also on WBOX 1460 AM, the voice of the people. We on the radio. We on Instagram, and everything is going up on YouTube. If anybody misses an episode, so you guys get to see us, get to hear Portia talking. Mindsovermatter. How did that come about?
So Mindsovermatter came about as a necessity. I was doing a lot at my job, and I was a rehab specialist, which is so it's I think it's only in Maryland because other places don't have it, but it's pretty much like a case manager supervisor. But I went to do therapy, so in order for me to do therapy, I had to start an LLC because my agency couldn't pay me twice. So that's how I started it. And honestly, the name came from Instagram. I posted a poll, and people in I posted like 3 different places, and 3 different people that never met each other said the same name. And I was just like, this might be the name that I need to take. So then February 2020 was when I started doing my own events. So
Okay.
that's when I was like, okay, cool.
You be doing, because I see that you did something yesterday, right?
Yesterday was cupcakes and conversations, but usually it's always like a self-care Sunday. So we're doing a self-care Sunday, paint night on August 1st.
Okay.
But
I'm
all
looking.
things self-care in Baltimore.
So everything is self care. And the late is it just for ladies? Is it for guys? Like,
It's
um,
for both.
okay,
So I cater all my services to Black people, first and foremost, and then other people are welcome to come. Like it's a safe space for everyone, but I'm always gonna cater to Black people, kind of thing. Like I'm gonna touch the hood before I touch the world.
right. Well,
So
I like that. Okay, so what can people expect at your events? Like, if I was to come to your event, what would happen?
So I'm very transparent. So like people like some people are honest and some people are transparent. So honest people will give you the answer if you ask. Transparent people are just upfront. So I'm mad transparent. So I'm gonna share the things that I went through because I'm not perfect. Like a lot of people be like, oh well, you went after your dreams, so maybe everything is cool. But no, I made a lot of mistakes and poor decisions. So I always talk about what that looks like and what my journey looks like. All my events are safe spaces and brave spaces. So the safe space where you feel like you're comfortable enough to talk about whatever you want to talk about and brave enough to come to the idea or decision to that you want to say these things to kind of thing that you might not say. A little bit of everything, open conversation, dialogue, meeting new people, all types of people.
Okay.
So you might get the hood people, you might get the educated people, you might get the mixture. So,
So for your events, what can we find your events at? If somebody's in that area and they decide to follow you today and they see that
mhm.
something they want to come, how can they, register for your event? Is it just a walk-in?
So, no, all my events are usually registered on Eventbrite, but my website is my name, PSROUSE.com, PS Rouse.
How was it making your website? I know a lot of people that's trying to make their website or making it, they so it's like a hard process or just trying to get the right font
Um,
together. How was your process?
so I'm not one of those because you get a lot of the like influences. I want to be like super fancy. That's not my speed. Like I'm super real. Like I'm like this is hard. This is confusing. But I use a template on GoDaddy, so it was really easy because you can just replace the things that's on there and change your pictures and stuff. But I use GoDaddy and it's
Okay.
simple. I made it all myself.
Oh, nice.
I do most of the things myself because that's just what's affordable. But it's also a skill that you learn, right? So it's just
Right.
like, well, let me learn this skill real quick if I don't want to outsource. But some things I do outsource, like my shop, anything in my shop I outsource because it's just
Okay.
easier to do that. Except my safety keychains, I do those myself because that started out as a hobby, and then people were like, no, I need a safety keychain kind of thing, and that's a part of self care too because you want to feel safe.
Right.
So.
Nice. Happy for you. Happy for you. WVOX 1460 AM. Guys, if guys have any questions at the bottom, there's a question box. If you have any questions for either of us, feel free to ask questions and join in and tell us how you feel. Portia took a leap out on faith, quit her job, and starting her own journey, working for herself. Are you for you? Did it take a team, or are you doing like everything by yourself?
So I usually do everything by myself. Now, sometimes my friends will come and support my events, so they'll help me set up and stuff like that. But just preparing in advance, some people like they might get stuff off my wish list, but everything is usually by myself. So all the
Do you
preparation,
feel like you need like I be feeling like I need like a what did I say I need like a young helper like
like an intern, or something.
yeah I need an intern. I like doing everything by myself, but now I feel like when you start, it's like a tree and things just start growing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just broadens and broadens, and it's a very good feeling. But it's like I'm
This
tired.
is OD.
Like,
I think outsourcing is definitely important. If you have good people, you know what I mean, then it's fine. But I think sometimes you struggle with surrendering things or delegating tasks when in actuality, like if I'm getting bigger and bigger, then I need to end up finding a team that I can delegate. But I like people who want to learn. Um, and people I can pour into. So like social workers who just graduated, I would like to pour into them because we don't always get the training and stuff that we need. We just kind of got to learn. Like at my old agency, I learned a lot because I went after it. But I feel like it's a different type of hustle when you're from New York though. So that's a little different.
right.
In just your upbringing, it's a different type of hustle. Some people like the hustle, some people don't. Um, so I think that outsourcing is important, but sometimes you get so caught up in trying to make sure everyone's doing it the way you want to do it. And
Right.
you have to trust who you're outsourcing kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, I think that will be my problem too. I haven't had anybody come in to help me, but I feel like that I'll be over them, like I
Right.
boss, and I'm like,
I don't
oh,
want to be that person.
right, I don't want to be that person, but this is your baby,
Yeah.
like
Right.
literally, this is your.
Hmm.
So it's like you want everything. Yes, I need help, but I want everything done the way that that I
Right.
done.
But sometimes we have to teach people how to support us, right? So we have to teach people what that looks like.
Fact.
And once you teach them, then they have it.
Right.
Then it's a done deal. Then you're like, okay, cool, it's my person.
Right. 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 Because I had my friend. I'm not even going to get into that story. I'm not even going to get into that story.
Ooh,
All right. Thank you for listening right now. We on 1460 AM VOX, the voice of the people. I keep turning my mic up. Hold on. So yeah, I'm with Portia, Mindsovermatter. You can check out her website, her Instagram. She's everywhere. She's like I think that I don't know like because yesterday I was talking to a girl and she wants to open up like she wants to cook food, she wants to be a chef
okay.
and get a food truck, and she was just saying how she don't have enough time. She has a daughter. I got to do my daughter. I work all day. I come home, I'm tired, like I want to start my business. And she was like, honestly, I think I'm about to take a leave of absence and just try it. And I'm like, do it. And then now I'm talking to you.
Yeah, do it.
Wow, like that is nice.
I would definitely say do it. And I didn't into like I said, I'm transparent. Like I didn't have a huge savings. Like it's one of those I had a part time job. I'm still working my part time job, but it's like now if I don't see people, I don't eat. So now like the grind is really there because it's like literally like some jobs if you don't go to work, you can take sick leave. There's no sick leave. There's none of that. There's if I take a day off, then it's like, okay, I'm taking a day off, but now I need to make up for that day somewhere else kind of thing, but I still wouldn't want to go back kind of thing.
At all. I had an incident happen to me at my job where I'm not working right now. Some mental health stuff.
Hmm.
Ever since I haven't been at work, I've had time for myself. Not that I wanted that incident to happen to me because
Right.
the anxiety that I'm going through is crazy.
That's
But
real.
like doing my work and doing stuff that's about me kind of makes me forget about it. And you just be going like today. I'm like, all right, what? I feel like when you start your own business, you feel like you're always supposed to be working. I don't know. That's just me. I'm
No,
just
that's true.
there. If I'm just sitting there, I'm like, nah, I know it's something that
I
I
gotta do something.
got.
Hmm.
But I feel like we do have to stop and
Hmm.
take care of ourselves and sleep and go get our net. Like do something for your.
Something.
Is it hard balancing those things like working and trying and chilling?
So I'm big on self-care for sure, but I'm also big on God. And in 2020, I got extremely close to God in a way I never got close before. And we're taught to honor the Sabbath, and I've never done that before. So I was just like, honor the Sabbath. Like, God, there's always something to do. What you mean, take a whole day off? Like, I need to eat, kind of thing. But once I started doing that, my weeks have gotten better. I've been able to focus more. I've been able to serve in church more, kind of thing. So it's just like, it's necessary. So that's necessary because I feel like I don't want to disobey God, kind of thing. Even though, don't get me wrong, I'll be doing other stuff that I need to work on, kind of thing, because we all sin. But it's just like, okay, let me try my best to honor the principle. So on Sundays, I don't work at all, or I don't do anything that brings in money, should I say, because that's what the Sabbath is. But I'm also big on self care. So I can't tell people like, yeah, you need to practice self care if I don't do it myself.
Right.
So working out is my balance. So like, I make sure before I do anything else, I need to pray and work out.
Okay.
So I
Great body, by the way.
I used to be real skinny though. You when we met, I was mad skinny.
Screenshot at that picture. Sis is looking good over there. I'm not even going front.
I used to be blown with the wind skinny. I was like, all right, let me one day. And I used to always say, like, even when I was real skinny, I used to be like, I'm gonna be thick. In 2020, like all Zoom workouts. My trainer's on Zoom, like, and I still meet with him on Zoom, everything.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So this Zoom life, internet life is really, you're really feeling it.
I'm feeling it. Like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'll be like, all right, I'm over Zoom. I don't want to be on your Google Meet, your Zoom, your nothing. Especially doing therapy because it's just like, oh my gosh, like not another video. And when I was doing it with kids, you can tell the kids like, Miss, no, like I want to be outside or something kind of thing. But it works for me. So I try and make the environment as cool as it can be for people.
So if somebody wants to talk to you, if somebody needs some therapy, how can they get in touch with you? Is it by your website also, or
hmm So it's both. So you can either email me, mindsovermatterllc@gmail.com, or you can go to my website. But I can only service people that are in Maryland because I'm like only licensed in Maryland.
okay,
But if you're like, say people are listening or watching and they're from another state, I can refer you. I know social workers in a lot of places. So I can refer you to at least some resources or a list of resources so you can find therapy somewhere.
okay,
hmm
social work networking.
Yes, that's my big thing for sure.
I would like to get back into social work, but I feel like this is my form of helping,
hmm
of talking to people online and helping them. And I hate saying small businesses, but business.
Right, right.
So this for me right now, but I applaud you. That's super cool.
So I would say to you to social work your way. So that's what I always tell people. Like I social work my way. I don't want to do therapy full time. I want to do supervision full time so that social workers who are under me, they can become whatever they want to be in social work and not what people say or these grad schools say you have to be.
Right.
So that's why I mostly do trainings or workshops and stuff like that versus just doing therapy or working with kids, working with adults kind of thing. So if that's what this is your passion, right? So flip it so that social work is, you do it this way kind of thing. And you use this as your platform.
I like that. That's what I like talking to other people. I like you
For
giving me
sure.
ideas. You giving me ideas.
Yeah, because it's like you want to do what you really want to do. You don't want
Yeah.
to be out here like, okay, I want to do this and then do this on the side. Why do I have to do it on the side? Why
Right.
can't I? Just like how people always say, like, oh, work a job you like so you're not miserable. It's just like, okay, bet. So how can I make this the way that I really want to live? Like now I know virtual is my thing because I can work in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Like maybe one day I want to go to Puerto Rico, but I can still work and then still enjoy my time in Puerto Rico. Or if I want to move, I can up and move faster and still be licensed in Maryland and then still be licensed at other places kind of thing. Or not do anything with my license, but flip it and still do workshops or
Right.
webinars or teach kind of thing. So yeah, make it work for you.
Make it work for you. God,
hmm
that's the slogan of the day today. Make it
Make
work.
it work for you.
Make it work for you. So I see that you was wearing a shirt. Pay him like you pay me. What?
Yes. So let me start with, it's not to bash my old place. It's just the only place I've ever been since I graduated. So I have been there for 6 years, but I had every raise I got, I had to fight for, and I was still underpaid. So in social work, your first license, so first you get your master's, and in certain states, you're not considered a social worker unless you have a license. So Maryland is one of those states. So you get your first license, which when I came in was licensed graduate social worker, LGSW. Now it's called licensed master level social worker, which is LMSW. Then you get that, you have it for 2 years under supervision and workshops, which we call CEUs. And then you can take another test to get your second licensure. And once you get your second licensure, that makes you more marketable. So you should everybody knows you should automatically getting paid more. And I was not like, even before, I was doing so much for my agency. Like on paper, I was a therapist or I was a rehab specialist. But I was also doing the hiring, the firing, the recruiting of clients, the recruiting of staff members. I was working in counties that I was not about to leave my car if I, because it might be a little racist. I was going to different counties. I was doing a lot for them, and it got to the point where they didn't want to pay me. I was doing program. The straw, I guess, was I was doing program manager duties because we didn't have one at the time, and they would not pay me. And I was like, this is not gonna work. Like, but they were paying men, and they were paying men to do nothing, kind of thing, compared to what I was doing. And I feel like I'm not gonna beg you to pay me because you already know what my worth is.
Right. Wow. Do you think it's because you was a woman or a black woman?
So my agency was a black owned agency, a black owned, a black ran agency.
Okay.
I think it was because I was a woman and I was young. And it was one of those things where sometimes my supervisors would kind of want you to go through what they went through. But I don't do anything so that anybody after me can go through what I went through. I don't want you to go through any of that. I want you to fight whatever fight you need to fight so that the person behind you don't have to go through that either,
Right.
kind of thing. So, right, exactly. So yeah, that's what it was pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know why when you work in a place where there's like seniors, I don't know which older people that's been working there, and you're the rookie, they
Mm-hmm.
weird, and it's like we at the same place. It's not my fault that you're older than me. Like
Literally, like I was just born at
right,
a different
I,
time, kind of thing.
I deserve to be treated the same way.
Especially if I'm working for it.
Right, especially if I'm working for it. And just because you went through something, just because the people that came before you treated you this way, doesn't mean that you got to keep doing it. Like, it's like a bad cycle
Right.
that they want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going through it, it don't feel good. So why would you want somebody else to go through it? It's
A lot
like
of times it's also that people don't want you to take their spot, but it's like I don't want your spot. I want more.
right.
So
So what-
there's nothing about your spot that I want, kind of thing. Right. Like
like,
no.
totally. Guys, thank you for listening to Girl Talk, WVOX 1460 AM, the voice of the people. If anybody wants to call in, the number is 914-636-0110. Or the question box at the bottom. You can write your questions. You can comment. Tell us how you're feeling. Shout out to everybody that's listening today. I hope that you're getting something out of it. I don't know if there's any people out there right now that, wants to take a leap out on faith and wants to do their thing and live for themselves. It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good, and it is a lot of work. I don't want people
Right.
I don't want people to start their business or start something and think that just because you're working for yourself is easier. It's like harder, especially in the beginning. Not harder, but it's harder.
Yeah.
You gotta manage your own lunch breaks. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you gotta manage your time. And I feel like ever since I started this, I miss out on things because I gotta finish. But I'm missing out, but it's not like I'm sad. It's like,
Right.
damn,
Exactly.
but I'm still working. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's a good sacrifice.
Yeah, it's super fulfilling because it's for
Mm-hmm.
you. And now I'll be looking at my money like, nah, I got to drink in the house. Let me just finish my work. Like I'm
Budgeting.
right,
Yeah, that's so real.
but it doesn't feel like it because you're working on something that's for you.
Right. Exactly.
I always say I want to be a billionaire. I want to be happy and healthy, right? Because there's no point of having a lot of money if you're sick or
Right.
unhappy
If
because
you
it
don't feel good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
feels like you're broke. So in order for me to become a billionaire, you got to miss out on some things because you got to work on yourself.
Right.
You
Exactly.
don't want to stay in the same place or have kids and you want them to live a different life. Like you got to work. You got to work for it. You got to work for it. So that's why I just want everybody to know if that
Mm-hmm.
start your own business and you want to start your own thing, it takes a lot of work and dedication.
Right. And consistency.
It takes consistency. Because even I was saying on Girl Talk, it was 4th of July, like holidays come, and it's like I got to go do Girl Talk. Like, yes, I know it's a holiday. Yes, I know a lot of people may not be on today, but you never know what's gonna happen 5 months from now, or who is listening. I
Right,
got
exactly.
we also on the radio, so we don't know who's listening to us on the radio right now.
Right,
Who's
literally.
feeling it? Who's, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to stay consistent. And there is sometimes when I like didn't go on, or I was like on vacation, people are hitting me up like, "Yo, what happened to Girl
Where
Talk
you
today?"
at?
I'll be like, "Oh my gosh!"
Oh.
Like I'm about to go on right now. Like you want to hear me talk? And it feels,
Hmm.
I can't lie, it feels good to know that people are listening and taking something from you.
Right.
Your shirts say social worker. What
They do.
social worker is social worker?
So I do everything from my soul to help people heal theirs kind of thing. So whether it's the webinars, the workshops, the responding to, like sometimes I get students that ask questions and I respond to them because people get too big kind of thing and feel like they don't have to answer, or they're like, oh, send me an email, but I can respond to your DM. It's not that deep. Like I can respond to your DM. We can talk. I can answer your questions. Now there are times where I do have to say, I charge for that. Because you have to know your worth and set your boundaries. But
Yeah,
I also, everything that I do with passion. So if I'm not seeing clients, I'm looking up things to
mhm,
see how can I send, who can I send this to, what client can I send this to, what worksheet will they benefit from. And I think people don't see that. So sometimes if they come to therapy, they think, oh, it's just this 45 minutes. They don't really care. But no, if you have a therapist who really cares, they're looking up your diagnosis if they're not 100% sure. They're like consulting with other people, but still protecting your information. But they're doing other things to make sure that you're getting all of your services, kind of thing. Especially if we work with kids.
right.
So it got to the point where sometimes I would have kids, I would be watching anime, like or things I've never seen before, kind of thing, just to see how can I reach you.
And sometimes you learn from trying to help somebody else. You know what I mean?
Sure do.
Now you know this movie contains this, and and kids will learn
Mm-hmm.
from it. So that's
Right.
they're teaching and also being taught. I feel like some people, we start this, and like you said, they become big headed,
Mm-hmm.
respond, or act like they're too busy. And I just never want to get to that place where I feel like in other radio hosts that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All started from the bottom.
Right, exactly. And it's not to say we won't be busy, because sometimes we are busy, but it's a balance, of course. But it's also one of those things where why not? Like,
Right,
why can't you respond to that DM kind of thing? Now, I'm not gonna give you therapeutic advice because I'm not a therapist. I mean, I'm not your therapist through Instagram kind of thing. So I can guide people or what have you. But it's one of those things where if I can help you, yeah, I can help you. Like
right.
I've had somebody like randomly DM me like, "Can you be my mentor?" I'm like, "Me? All right, sure." Like, what does this look like? Let's talk about what this looks like, kind of thing. And if not, I'm gonna refer you out. I think some people also forget that part. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own businesses that we don't refer. And a lot of I might not be able to meet your needs, so I'm gonna refer to somebody who can.
Right. Well, that's what Girl Talk is all about, referring, helping people out. I basically, like a social worker, I just want to be the middleman, help people. If I can't help you, if I know somebody who can do it, I'll send you to them. Like,
Right, exactly. It's that simple.
it's that simple. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody got to eat. And if I send you somebody, I'm sure you're going to remember that I sent that person and
Hmm.
come back around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, I feel like sometimes people always want to get paid for what they do, even the smallest.
Hmm.
Some things you just gotta do on TV.
Yeah.
Like
Right, exactly.
everybody come on the show. Like I don't have to say give me $500 because maybe I need some of your followers, or maybe I need to.
Facts.
So some of the things is just like we're helping each other.
Hmm.
You gotta realize that everything is not about the dollar. Yes,
Right.
make your money, but
Right.
life is not about money. Like
Right, exactly. And that's the problem. Money shouldn't be a master, that's for sure.
right, right,
But
um,
even just sharing stuff like you said, everybody still eats.
right.
So it's like even if you're not getting bread, you still getting some type of connection.
You getting some type of connection, yes. Like you getting something out of it, or you will get something out of it. Sometimes everything's
Right.
not right in front of your face ASAP,
Hmm.
but it comes back around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody that's out there, help, network, and get to know other people, get to know other radio, get to know other social workers, get to know people in your field because
Hmm.
perfect, and they might could teach you something that you didn't know, or you could teach them something too.
Right. And
I
I
feel
will
like with
also say do things, meet people that's not in your field too. So like when Clubhouse was mad popping, I used to go into the chats that had nothing to do with social work. Like I used to go into the upcoming artists and talk to them about mental health. I used to go into the actors, the actresses. I used to go into the chefs, the vegans. I go into all these other different things because nobody else was in there
Right.
talking about mental health. So now you know my brand. You know exactly who I am, kind of thing.
Right.
Versus being in your own circle talking to social workers.
Same thing.
Right.
I like that. Do you
And then
think?
I used to also drop other people's stuff. So sometimes I would go into I had a podcast, but I would go into the podcast chats and they would say, introduce yourself. And I would introduce myself and say, and I'm here to tell you about my friend. She has this podcast and this is what it's called. So I would always drop somebody else.
Right. I like that. I like that. That's how you grow, though. Like just
Mm-hmm.
a nice person or just helping others out, you start to grow and you start to network and meet people. You're like,
Right.
oh, okay. You know what I mean? Do you think mental health is something that people talk about like enough? Like, I feel like a lot of people go through things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like mental health, but it's crazy or
So I feel like now, like it's becoming a thing where people want to talk about it more, but people still struggle with talking about mental health, especially Black people, because everybody, like you said, don't want to be crazy, but you're not crazy for asking for help.
right,
And why should you have to go through things alone, kind of thing. I
right,
think it's a difference between there is a difference between having mental health issues and having mental health. Everybody has mental health.
yeah,
But everybody doesn't have mental health issues. Sometimes people go through things and be like, oh, well, I have mental health issues. Do you have mental health issues or are you going through something? Because there's two different things. But sometimes you are going through things consistently and it looks like mental health. But I think that we have to start normalizing it. So when I talk to people, I let them, if you want to curse, curse. Like, if you, like, I have some people, when they come into the session, they're like, you're, like, that's how we start the session. Okay, cool. Like, whatever works kind of thing. So
right.
you just have to find who works for you and what that looks like.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I feel like mental health is becoming something that we hear about more.
Hmm.
I don't know when it started, but
I don't know when it started either. That's for sure.
I don't
But
know.
I want people not to use it as like a hashtag. Like, oh, I'm gonna just use this as a fad kind of thing. No, you're really probably going through things.
Right.
It's people that's really going through things, and you need to address what that looks like. Don't just do it for the socials kind of thing. But I also think COVID made people realize that they have to deal with their problems. People were really mad about COVID, not just because everything was shut down, but because they had to deal with their own self.
Yes.
So then it was like, oh, I have nowhere to turn to. Like the friends that always go to brunch or always at a party, always somewhere, they're really running from their problems.
Right.
But nobody wants to talk about that. We just like, oh, he drink a lot. Why does he drink a lot? Why are we not talking about that? Like, why are you not telling him you drinking too much, kind of thing?
Going away.
So, right, exactly. Or the one like, oh, wow, that's my aunt. She always act crazy. Like she's not acting crazy. She has problems,
Right.
and we're not addressing them. That's why she still has these problems.
Right. How do you just like? So I went through a situation at work, right, and I thought that I was okay, right, but then I just started feeling. I felt weird inside, like I felt violated inside, right.
Mm,
But the people around me kind of act like it was something regular. So I feel like sometimes people may be going through something, but if the people around, sometimes you need like confirmation, like,
right.
just like, am I fucking? But everybody like,
Mm-hmm.
da, 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 da. So then you just dealing with your problems and you like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's saying that I'm okay, so I must be. So is there a way to like, is there symptoms that you could kind of like see or go by to like, yeah, like something is happening with me.
So it could be one of two things because sometimes the people around us they see an issue but they don't want to mention the issue, and that's the problem, kind of thing. So that's one thing. Sometimes we do need that confirmation, but the people around us won't. They're not bold enough to give us that confirmation because they don't know if they should. They don't know if maybe it's them, kind of thing, for whatever reasons that looks like. So that's one thing. But the flip side is sometimes we do go through things that other people don't see. And that's when we have to get that confirmation kind of from like a therapist or and an assessment or your first session, like evaluation, it sounds really intense, but it's really just to figure out what's going on and what that looks like. Just like a diagnosis sounds really intense when it's just a description of why you came.
Right,
But people don't think about it that way. Because when you go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis all the time. But
right,
people don't think about it that way, kind of thing. So yeah. So I would say the symptoms is first of all, trust your insight. If you know that this don't feel like me kind of thing, then ask for help and get help some way, somehow kind of thing. So you can figure out what that looks like. And know sometimes you do only see it, which
Mm-hmm.
means then you know kind of thing. Trust your gut kind of thing. Like, okay, what's going on? What does that look like? Just to figure it out. And sometimes you might not have problems at all. And you
Right.
might just go to a therapist anyway. You
Right.
be like, well, I don't know if I have problems. And next thing you know, you're talking about something that happened to you at 7, and you
You never.
like, oh, I didn't deal with that. Hmm.
Right. You start talking. That's deep. I feel like that's what happens. Like you just start talking, and you like, wow, that did bother me, or something
Right.
to put behind you, and it's like
Hmm.
coming forward, it's keep coming in your relationships and keep coming in different aspects
Right.
of life. PMDD, what is that?
So PMDD, women get it 10 days, about 10 days before their cycle. It's a premenstrual um, disorder. So it's only for women or people who bleed, should I say? Because everybody does identify as that. So be correct. Right. So you can get it 10 days before your cycle, but you get into an extreme depression. Now, you know how some people like they'll get their cycle like, oh, I'm moody, but you know if you're moody just because you have an attitude kind of thing. This
Yeah.
is really a depressive disorder. So you're extremely down. You can be extremely like irritable. It affects your day to day kind of thing, and then it ends up gradually disappearing once your cycle begins, kind of thing. And the thing about that, I've learned that a lot of clinicians don't know what to do about PMDD, because for a while I thought I had it, and I was talking to therapists about it, and they weren't really able to help me. So I just started monitoring it myself. So like for a few months, I was like, okay, let me try and monitor my mood. Like, is this happening every month? Because it has to be something that's happening consistently. It can't be, okay, this month during my cycle, this is how I felt kind of thing. And it was like all the symptoms were happening consistently. And I would literally in my cycles are also heavy. So that could also add to it, because if you're losing iron, you don't have energy. If you don't have energy, you think you're depressed kind of thing.
Right.
So it's just ruling out all of the things, but also checking off the symptoms, like just being extremely depressed before your cycle comes, seeing when it changes. So like for me, it'll be at least 2 weeks before my cycle comes, but like the third day, it's like, okay, cool, I'm getting back to myself kind of thing. Mhm.
So that is a real thing because I feel like 10
Mhm.
the week before I am a whole different person.
Literally. And don't get me wrong, a lot of women are. Like a lot of women are naturally like it's just different, but it has to affect your day to day kind of thing. And you know when it's like, okay, my cycle is coming kind of thing versus like this is like I'm dreadful kind of thing.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Wow. Ladies, do anybody out there experience any of these PMDD symptoms? Because I feel like for ladies, dating whoever, even dating another woman or a man,
Hmm.
people don't understand. Like they think that you have an attitude.
Right. They think that's it.
Yeah, like, oh, she got an attitude or she acting stank. Like, no, my body is really going through something and I
Hmm.
cannot control these emotions. I think I have PMDD.
That's what it is. It's like it's
Like,
uncontrollable too. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, because I'm still gonna work. I'm still gonna do stuff like that. And I actually, it's odd because I actually do really well at work anytime. But then in my personal life, I'm isolating myself kind of thing, because I'm like, I'm not a misery loves company kind of girl. Like, let me be miserable by myself. Like, I don't got time to be miserable with you. But then you have to recognize those things too. Like, what's gonna fill you up so that you can kind of work through it kind of thing.
ignoring people.
Sometimes that's self care. Okay, I'm queen of do not disturb.
That is my. I feel like that is really a real thing, and it sucks that for females we have to go to work. We got to deal with annoying people. We got to deal with bosses who are not as smart as you, but telling you what to do. But you suffering from PMDD right now. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
for women, like I feel like we go through a lot. Like we're
Right.
very strong and we go through a lot, but we got to go through it and just that's it because the world keeps moving. So it's like if we stop,
Hmm.
it don't matter because everything is still going. So shout out to all the people
Right.
out there that's working,
Hmm.
businesses that still work full time jobs. You know what I mean? And got to work through the BS because that's what it really is.
That part.
And then you were crazy. Then she crazy when I snap.
Right.
Right? Then she crazy.
Um,
Nobody tells you what. Nobody talks about triggering you. They always talk about how
right.
you responded.
Nobody talks about the trigger. You absolutely.
Mhm.
Did you remember what you said to me to make me feel this way?
Right, like,
Or
did
the
you forget
build,
that part? Right, or the build up, that part.
the
No
build.
accountability.
Yes. Everybody, thank you for WVOX 1460 AM, the voice of the people, Girl Talk. Remember that I'm selling waist beads right now. I'm selling eyeglasses holders. If you ever want to come on Girl Talk, let me know. We go live and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's a conversation. It's not an interview. I want everybody to be comfortable. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Refer somebody to come on. Girl Talk is blowing up, and you better get on this bandwagon before it's
Okay.
off. But we're coming down to the final minutes. Push. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Um, I think we pretty much covered everything. I would just
Um,
say, like, your journey is your journey,
uh-huh.
and don't compare your journey to anybody else's because people don't post their losses. So don't compare yourself to social media to anybody you know because that's not your ministry. That's not for you.
Yes. Do you think social media has a big impact on like how people are moving? Um, I feel like social media could also be good because you're
Hmm.
all these black businesses pop up. You see all these black women do these things. So sometimes we look at social media like, oh, it's all negative girls just shaking their butts and da da da.
Hmm.
On my story, I don't really see that. I got
Hmm.
working and building their own businesses and doing their thing.
Right.
So I feel like social media could be good and bad, but
Hmm.
what you
How you using it?
yeah, on
Right.
how you use it. Because I was saying the other day, like, dang, I don't even get a chance to scroll like that anymore because I'm so busy working on myself. I don't get to play my my games on my phone. Like
Right.
my little Unos and my Candy Crush. I'm working. Like
Right.
I am working. But
But
yeah,
you need that self care though. You don't want to work yourself to death.
I do it at night. I do it at night.
Okay.
I take
See,
a
I'm a morning person, so
Yeah, I do that. I can't. I don't really sleep, so I do everything like at night, and I'll just chill and I play my game and stuff like that.
okay,
But
that's good.
I'm at a point right now where I think I'm just really fiending. Like I can't stop thinking about my work.
Right.
I stop thinking about making my podcast. And
Mhm.
I know it's work, but it's like a self care for me.
Mhm. Yep, for
But
sure.
the things that I'm going through to slow down my brain and just
Mhm.
relax when I'm making waist beads and stuff like that is very relaxing. And I'm just sitting there for hours, not even realizing that time is passing.
Right.
Sometimes your work could be like self care,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah,
Right. Exactly.
it's therapeutic.
Mhm.
Let's take care of yourselves, okay? People on the radio, people on Instagram, people that's gonna hit us on YouTube. Make sure you take care of yourself. Sometimes people worry about so much things and they're not taking care of yourself. But like I
Mhm.
said, taking care of yourself and you ain't here,
Right. Then what?
then what? Then what? Then it's over, right? But thank you, Portia, for coming on. I want you to say your
Thanks for having
website
me. I appreciate you.
one more time.
So
So
my website is PS Rouse, like house with a R. PSROUSE.com. And my email address is mindsovermatter@gmail.com.
you also have merch, right?
I do. So I have the try therapy before you try me shirts.
Oh, I
Those
like
are up.
that.
Yes, for sure. Because people be trying it and they need some healing.
Right.
Um, and I have the Nah shirts. So everybody's been like wearing the shirts that say Nah by Rosa Parks, when in actuality, Claudette Colvin was the first one who refused to give up her seat on the bus. But she
Okay.
was a 14-year-old dark-skinned pregnant girl, and Rosa Parks was a better look. So I created that to honor Claudette Colvin because she was actually the one who started the movement of not giving up her seat. So I have those shirts.
Like,
It's crazy because nobody knows. A lot of people don't know that.
right. Because,
And it's not to say Rosa Parks was not important, but it's
right,
give people the credit that they deserve. Whether she was 14, whether she was pregnant, whether she was dark skinned, like
right,
she still deserves her credit.
right. She still ain't get up,
Right,
but
exactly. And what people don't even realize is that Rosa Parks was not in the front of the bus. She was sitting in the back of the bus. But someone needed a seat. So they wanted her to get up because she needed a seat. But Claudette Colvin was sitting not sitting where she was supposed to be sitting, kind of thing.
Oh, so she sat in the first seat. Like, I'm pregnant and I'm tired.
Like she's not moving right. Like you pregnant, not moving, kind of thing. Yeah. So
And stand up, period, and hold on to the pole.
right, exactly. So
Well,
yeah,
so glad that like I say all the time, in order for the world to change, we have to make the changes. There's no way that we can just sit down and do nothing and be like, well, it's still racism. They still telling us what to do.
right.
If you're not doing nothing, of course it's going to be.
Hmm.
So shout out to women like you and different men and different women that's out here that's making this movement. It's the small steps. Not everything is broadcasted on the news and stuff like that. But it's
Right.
that's doing the groundwork, making these small moves that's going to be something big. You know what I mean? So shout out to you for doing your thing.
Shout out to you. This is mad dope. I was like, it's the you for me, girl.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. If anybody want to do any Cash App donations, Gurrltalk is at the bottom. Shout out! I got a lot of brand new stuff coming. I'm working out here. I'm working. God bless everybody. Stay safe. It's Sunday. Eat good, sleep good, and enjoy yourself. Thank you, Portia, for coming on.
Appreciate you. Good
Yeah.
night.